What's going on, guys? Austin here, and in this video, we're going to be taking a look at 5-Minute Fantasies Week 8 Booming and Busting Tight Ends. So my start of the week, I'm going to say, is Tyler Higbee at Houston. Houston doesn't know how to cover tight ends, although to be fair, Houston doesn't know how to cover anything. But Tyler Higbee's poised for a big game. We've seen a lot of big games from different Rams targets, whether it's Van Jefferson or Deshaun Jackson or Cooper Kupp or Robert Woods, and I think Tyler Higbee has yet to have a fully, breakout game, and he's just poised for one against Houston. I'm going to say CJ Uzomah for the second week in a row at the New York Jets. Now, the Jets have okay secondary players, which is why, the Bengals receivers might not do great. I said the same thing last week about Jamar Chase, and he just took a dump on my face. Dude came out with 200 and some yards and a touchdown. I'm definitely not going to predict that again, but CJ Uzomah should be available for another good game coming from Joe Burrow to him against the Jets. Hunter Henry at the Chargers, as well as Jonnu Smith against the Chargers. Chargers aren't great against the tight ends, and Chargers aren't great against running backs. And Hunter Henry, he's really been coming into his own. He's a guy who, probably wants a little bit of a revenge game, and I'm sure Mac Jones is keeping that in mind. Jonnu Smith, a guy who's really been kind of slow to start the season, but bringing it on as of late, not as much as Hunter Henry is, but Mac Jones is really starting to find them as his favorite targets. I'm going to say Mike Gesicki at Buffalo. Buffalo is a very excellent team when it comes to covering tight ends. And I think that this game is going to be won basically in the screen game to the fast receivers like Devontae Parker and Jalen Waddle. I'm going to say Jared Cook versus New England. I think New England is the number one team against tight ends. I'm not entirely sure, but I know they're up there. And then I'm going to say, Gronk / O.J. Howard / Cameron Brate, whoever's on Tampa Bay, sit them all against New Orleans. This is going to be Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin game for the most part. And then Robert Tonyan at Arizona. I don't like Robert Tonyan as much as fans in Green Bay do. I was on Twitter earlier yesterday, and somebody said something along the lines of Brandon Cooks would make the Green Bay Packers the best receiving core in the NFL in history. And then I said, well, they're not even that great. They wouldn't even be the best this year. And, they started going down the matchups, basically saying that, Randall Cobb is better than Mike Evans and, however it ends up working out. But they ended up coming up with the silly statement that Robert Tonyan is better than Rob Gronkowski, which is ridiculous. Even, Gronkowski, who should be playing in a nursing home right now because he's been on the field since like 2010, just taking absolute hits. Robert Tonyan is not that good, and Arizona is actually really good against covering tight ends. I think Robert Tonyan is going to be in a lot, shipping off on Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones might have been ruled out for the game. I don't remember yet. But he might be chipping on the defensive line because the defensive line in Arizona is pretty good. And so he'll be available maybe half the time in terms of what his regular targets would be. So thanks for watching that video. Be sure to like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments down below.